y'all, welcome back to the BlitzCity Podcast, where today we're going to be breaking down and talking about the Grambling versus Jackson State game that just occurred yesterday. Now, we have a lot to talk about this game. There are at least 3 plays from this game that are going to be on the BlitzCity Top 10 Plays of the Week. You know, we got a lot to discuss, but before we do that, I have to tell y'all, next week, y'all already know Southern, Jackson State, that big rivalry game is going down. Fortunately, that's going to be the game that I show up to. Me, as well as my girl. And guys, when I touch down there, when we touch down there, we're going to be looking for some good soul food. Because honestly, who doesn't love food? Everybody loves food, especially soul food. And when I touch down, I'm going to make my way to Byron, Mississippi, where 2 for 7 Kitchen resides. 2 for 7 Kitchen is a small Black-owned business, a family business, where a guy by the name of Mario and his wife, they do this for their 7 children. Okay, and that's something that I absolutely love off the rip. But when he gave me the menu, when he showed me what it was like, what their food looks like, I said, man, I'm definitely going to hit y'all up, and we definitely got to get in contact because I can't wait for those to be one of those places. So it was 2 for 7 Kitchen, and it was Stan Burgers. I'm hitting those places up, and I think y'all should too, since y'all are already down there. 2 for 7 Kitchen is the spot to be at. Now, for those of you who said, I don't want to go all the way to Byron, Cobi, that's a little too far for me. Okay, fine. Guess what? They have a food truck, and they have been on Jackson State's campus before. So trust me, if you see 2 for 7 Kitchen, give them a holler. Tell them BlitzCity sent you, Cobi from BlitzCity, all right? And just please try them out because I promise you, I damn sure will. Now, getting into the game. When I watched this game, well, before I was watching the game, I asked on Twitter, I said, man, how's the Jackson State versus Grambling game going? And y'all gave me a lot of answers. Thank y'all so much for that. That was back during the first half where the score was still close. And, you know, you had a lot of things to say, and then y'all ended up pulling away in the second half. But let me say this. Jackson State, like I've been saying since the beginning, Jackson State has way too much talent for anybody to go back and forth with them. If it ever became an offensive shootout with Jackson State, there are very few teams who can keep up. Even if you're close with them in the first half, I just don't have faith that there's a team out there in the SWAC that can go all 4 quarters as far as scoring goes to match the offensive firepower at Jackson State. They're going to get going eventually. But let's talk about it. First, I want to talk about the good. Some things that impressed me, right? Sivion Wilkerson is the feature back. He's proved that. Sivion Wilkerson deserves the majority of the carries. It is proven throughout 3 weeks now. It should be no more debate. I still love J.D. Martin. I love Santee Marshall. I love Tyson Alexander. Right now, Sivion Wilkerson deserves the majority of the carries. He was pulling off amazing runs, hurdle after hurdle, running hard. I absolutely love his run style. I know a lot of y'all do too. He was saving the offense last week. Now he's back at it again. Not particularly saving him. I guess you could say he did, but man, was he just running hard and making plays. Sivion is that guy. 20 carries, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He should be the premier back. That's all I have to say about that. After that, I got to give credit to Maurice Washington. Doesn't play for Jackson State, but man, a hell of a player he is. Every single week, he's had some type of run that should have put him on some type of top 10. He was on my top 10 last week. As a matter of fact, I told y'all in the pregame breakdown that Maurice Washington, you can stop him. You can stop him, right? But don't be surprised if he gets a highlight run every now and again. And that 73-yard scamper that he had proved to you that he's going to do it. He's going to get his highlight run. Now, so shout out to Maurice Washington, absolutely great talent. Dallas Daniels and Willie Gaines are emerging as the 2 most consistent receivers in that receiving core, in my opinion. Dallas Daniels, we all know how great he was. I think 99 yards on 4 catches and 4 touchdowns, something like that. He had the majority of Shador's touchdowns yesterday. Him and Willie Gaines. Willie Gaines is a big play guy. They are emerging as the 2 most consistent receivers in that receiving core. And that's not to say anything bad about everybody else in that receiving core. It's just Dallas and Willie are those guys. And I'm looking forward to see just how much of a firecracker Willie Gaines especially can be for this offense because, man, he's a deep threat. He's going to take the top off. You're seeing that now for 2 weeks in a row. If it's a one-on-one matchup, man, that size don't matter. Willie going to get after it. And I love that about him. Now, On top of that, Shedeur. Yes, we were all disappointed with the fumble that he had. We know that that is one of the main things that he had last year that was a problem, holding that ball like a loaf of bread. But with that being said, man, Shedeur is an NFL prospect. Shedeur is an NFL prospect. Him from last year to this year, he's just even better. His release looks so quick. The arm looks strong. Shedeur, in that training that he got from Tom Brady, it's truly been paying off. 21 of 31, 357 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's even proven that he can be a run threat inside that red zone, getting 2 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, I absolutely love the fact this for Shedeur Sanders, man. He's absolutely balling. He's a legitimate NFL prospect. So yeah, Shedeur Sanders, absolutely great. With that defense, oh my goodness. Okay, so for the first time this season, they have been scored on. You know, it's not really anything to be disappointed about because at some point during the season, it was going to happen. All right, but here's the thing though. It shouldn't have been 24. It should have been 17. You know, it should have definitely been 17. Because one for that Maurice Washington score, and the other one was because of that late score late in the game. But it shouldn't have been 24. Even with that being said, this defense is still number 1 in the nation in sacks, number 2 in the nation in tackles for loss, number 1 scoring defense, and the number 1 in total defense. They're absolutely outstanding. This defense is outstanding. So looking forward, I don't really see who's going to really challenge them and really put up that much points against them. Like, I don't know who's going to go blow for blow with that Jackson State defense. I'm just being honest with you. Because before I thought it was Southern, but they couldn't even score against Texas Southern. So now I'm looking at this thing differently. This defense, this team, Jackson State's team, has just way too much talent for people to go blow for blow with you. You can make it to the half, but this is a four-quarter sport. This is a 4-quarter sport, and you're going to have to definitely keep that momentum going throughout the 4 quarters. Right now, can't nobody do it. The reason, man, one of the main reasons is because of quarterback play, but nobody can do it. All in all, I wish that they would get this thing going from the first half until the end of the game. It just didn't happen. But they were able to make a second half surge. But, you know, you just kind of wish that they can keep this thing going from out the gate and not wait until the second half to get it going. You know, you want to see domination. You want to see them killing that with the sledgehammer, like Coach Palm is saying. But with that being said, I have no problems with how they played. In that second half. Their second half actually reminded me of the FAMU game in week 1 with how dominant they've been when they're on their stuff. Malachi Wyman making plays, and he's not even, I think that was the only play that he that was the only series he got in. You know, like they're deep. Jackson State's deep. And I think this is a team who, if they continue to blow teams out like this, you're going to continue to see a lot more hate. There are a lot of people in the SWAC, you know, who are fans of other teams calling for Jackson State to not be in the conference anymore because they don't think it's fair that Jackson State is whipping up on people like this. With that being said, man, you are watching the BlitzCity Podcast. Please submit your suggestions for the BlitzCity Top 10 Plays of the Week and support the BlitzCity Top 10 Plays of the Week. You're watching the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Cobi. I'm out. Peace.